Hello and welcome to the Tavern Chat podcast. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. So, today we had some sad news. James Mathe, or is it Mathe? I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, has passed. Now, if you don't know who James is, you certainly know one of his legacies, and that was RPGNow. He was the founder of RPGNow. So he basically is the man who brought the idea of digital gaming, digital PDF gaming material to the forefront. Later on, he sold to Drive-Thru, which then became, one bookshelf, or he merged. But you wouldn't have the PDF marketplace, the digital marketplace for games, without James. He also owned game stores, did Kickstarters, and he was 52. Putting this into perspective for you, I am 51. This, again, as it often does, cuts close to home. On top of that, my parents' cat of 17 years, a huge part of the family, passed this afternoon around 3:15. You can't control death. You can't control, generally, when your loved ones will pass. But you can control how you live. So there's that saying that treat every day as if it's your last. It very well might be. If you treat people like you're going to leave your lasting impression every day that you live, I think you will come out ahead in the game of life. Our cat Fritzy, family cat Fritzy, certainly lived a feline life like that. Kindest, sweetest, most empathic animal. He will be sorely missed. I didn't know James personally, but I know his legacy, and we owe him a lot. Now, as for other stuff going on right now, tomorrow, David Beatty, the author, project manager of Dark Trails, which is a DCC powered weird western where you don't need the DCC rules, all self-contained. His Kickstarter is still going. He's got a couple of days left. Tomorrow, David and I are going to sit down at around 7 p.m. Eastern Time in the 10 Cars Tavern Discord server. We will be in the Tavern Chat podcast section in the Fireside Chat and voice channel. You are more than welcome to join us, listen in. I don't know if we'll have an opportunity to allow people to ask questions, but you can certainly listen to the live recording of the broadcast, or the podcast. And then on Thursday, I'm sitting down with none other than Vince Florio for his Old School Blues YouTube channel. And we're going to be talking some old school RPG-ness, which is always fun. If you know me at cons, you know that's something I probably can't shut up talking about once you get me started. So you've been warned. I'll step away for a second. I'll be right back. Interesting. So it looks like when I cut that first section of the podcast, that it automatically got moved to the right side of my anchor page there to already drop it into the episode. Very interesting. So in any case, since we're doing a news episode, and I really have been keeping up on the news recently because I was at a con, man. Con, yo. So I'm going to be honest here. I'm looking at N-World. Actually, there is some interesting news. Um, Baldur's Gate 3. It's in the works. Not quite ready for pre-order, but it's going to be on Steam. Oh, no, it's not going to be on Steam. Or is it going to be on Steam? All right, so now the game will be released on PC and the new Google Stadia video game streaming service. Okay, now, but that would be on Steam. Um, I'm confused. In any case, it's going to have single player, multiplayer, online multiplayer, co-op, online co-op, yada, yada, yada. Listen, most importantly, it is going to be running off of 5e. Now, Wizards of the Coast has licensed the D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, trademark at the video games. They have not used the game system, but this time they're going to use 5e. I think that's pretty interesting. I'm pretty stoked about that, actually. Of course, I run on OS X. I don't know if I'll be able to play it, but fuck it. I'm still stoked. It's still good for the industry. I believe I mentioned earlier that there is an Alien, as in the movie, RPG in the works. But guess what? There's now a Stargate RPG in the works. Wyvern Gaming. Apparently, they're known for Sojourn, which is a board game. They're going to do a role-playing game based on a Stargate television series. Here's the issue with this one. Okay, and I know people like Stargate. I know Stargate lasts for fucking ever between the movie and TV series. And it was a good TV series, don't get me wrong. But it's an old IP. Okay, and from a company that's not known for RPGs. So I don't know how these two are going to mix. I'm not holding out. Well, here, I won't hold my breath in the meantime. I will be interested in the results. Doesn't mean I'm going to pick it up. Right? I mean, think about it this way. We have an Expanse RPG that was kickstarted. That is a current IP. It's exciting. I can see it driving business. Stargate is not Star Wars. Stargate is not Star Trek. And I just don't see it. It would be like licensing that Gene Roddenberry TV series that was the Star Trek ripoff briefly. You know, although I would like to say, hey, licensing IPs is a good idea. When it comes to movie and TV franchises, it's a little bit more iffy, especially when they are not current and they don't have a huge following. Because remember, you're paying to use the IP. You have a cost sunk in from that alone, and that can be rough for your funnel, your end, your profit margin. You know, yeah, it's money up front. You got to pay. In any case, folks, keep the departed in your prayers. And I listen. I always end this with throwing a God bless in there. And I think it's important, even if you don't necessarily believe in a higher power, but just treat God bless as blessing your fellow gamers, blessing your fellow man, having good thoughts, wishing for the best. So, and keeping families that have lost in your thoughts, because Usually, the individuals that have passed on, we don't have to worry about them anymore. Actually, we never do. They've passed. They've gone on to something different. But it's those of us left behind that mourn. And those are the ones that really should be given the blessing. All right, folks. Be good. God bless. And I will talk with you all tomorrow. Later, folks.